in the meeting?
Not yet.
On text, okay, thank you.
Do we have this number here?
We have to admit a phone number, so just one moment, please, while we ask who that is. Go ahead.
Okay, we have somebody entering with the last numbers entering in 4545. Could you let us know who you are, please?
Hey everyone, this is Peter McCullis.
Okay, Peter, thank you.
Keep going, Project. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Peter, Carol.
We have to admit one more person with a phone number, so just one moment, please. We have a caller ending in 4271. Can I ask who that is, please?
Good morning, this is Dan Caposello with Delaware River Solar.
Thank you, Dan.
Welcome, Dan. Richard, please.
We've got Evo joining. Just one moment, please. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Mike, you can go ahead and start.
Thank you, Rosie. I'm going to call the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency Board of Directors meeting. This is via Zoom. It's April 26, 2022, and it's a little after 10 a.m. We do have quorum, and to signify that, roll call, please. Mike Metzger is here. Stephen Thorpe.
Here.
Dennis Rack.
Here.
Kevin Muldowney.
Here.
Jay Churchill.
Here.
Rhonda Johnson.
Here.
Let the record show that there are 6 members present. We do have quorum. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the March 23rd, 2022 Board of Directors minutes that you have previously received. Thank you, Jeanette and Rosie. Do I have a motion?
A move.
A motion by Dennis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Stephen. Any discussion, changes, comments, corrections? Well done as always. All those in favor of approving the March 22nd, 2022 meetings, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We have motion carried unanimously. Before new business, I'd like to have, if our county executive, PJ Wendell, or our head of the legislature, Peter Shagnon, would like to say something, we would welcome it at this time. PJ?
Thank you, Mike, and I appreciate the time to speak. You know, as we begin, not really as we begin, but as we continue our work here with the county, you know, one of the things we look for is all of the things that is happening with the IDA and all the activities that's going on, you know, while things while things were in the COVID era, but realistically, the diligent work that's been taking place. I know Mark and others have, and Rich and the whole staff have been out, you know, looking for projects. You know, I heard some information the other day, you know, about some surveys and stuff, or different things that, you know, listening to the partnership and their involvement in the community and exploring opportunities for development. So it's really exciting to know that I have such a great group of individuals and a board that supports their efforts as they go forward. You know, the naysayers will be naysayers. People will always look down on things that happen or really criticize some of the setbacks we have. But I look at it as, you know, people will always, you know, people will really take a bite out of you in an attempt to take a bite out of success. And that's really what we see sometimes happening. There's some criticisms of the IDA we've seen recently. I don't agree with them. I don't support them nor believe in them, but I think it's ways that people will, you know, knock the success that's being, you know, being done here in Chautauqua County. So on behalf of myself and everyone, you know, the residents of the county, you know, the IDA planning, and then on another avenue linked is our, you know, the partnership that we really are doing a lot of great things here in Chautauqua County, and I'm really excited about the opportunities we have and looking forward to the growth we have here in our county. So thank you so much for everything you do, and keep up the good work.
Well, thank you for those kind words and your continued support. Thank you, County Executive. Pierre, would you like to address us at this time?
Yes, thank you, Mike. I would certainly echo the words that the county executive just said. But in addition to that, I appreciate the fact that the IDA meeting is now being shared, the virtual meetings are being shared with the public, so the public can watch and listen in to get a firsthand understanding of the excellent work that the IDA does for all the people of Chautauqua County. So I would like to point that out as well and extend my appreciation for that. Thank you.
Well, thank you also for your kind words and your continued support, Pierre. Much appreciated from both. Now, before we get into new business, I'm going to ask our Executive Director, Mark Geis, to introduce our new board member.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joining us today is Rhonda Johnson. Now, Rhonda Johnson is replacing Kelly Farrell Du Bois, and Kelly served admirably for over 7 years on our board, and she recently let us know that she needed to step down due to family commitments, and that she would serve until we found a replacement. And so we really appreciate everything Kelly has done for this organization. And Rich and I met with Rhonda several months ago. We really spent a fair amount of time talking through what we do and how we do it. And she had a lot of great questions, and it took a couple of days to ponder it, and came right back to us and said I would be thrilled to join the organization. And just so you know, Rhonda is a resident of the town of Ellicott. She is the president at Weber Knapp, which is a Jamestown business located on Chandler Street. She went to Jamestown High School and graduated. And she also graduated from Franklin University. She's very involved in many local boards and organizations such as Moonbrook Country Club. She's been on the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, general and grant committees. She's a Mass board member and a past president, and she really enjoys her family, spending time with her family, is a great community participant, and so and she's a very nice person. So we're thrilled that you could join us, Rhonda. I don't know if you wanted to add anything or say anything to the board while you have the opportunity.
Oh, you made me sound very busy, but I'm really excited to be part of this board and serving with all of you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Welcome. Welcome, Rhonda. Welcome.
Welcome, Rhonda. Really looking forward to be working with you and for you lending your experience and your expertise to the IDA. So thank you. Can we also send out a recognition to Kelly Farrell Du Bois for her many years of excellent volunteer service to this board? That would be much appreciated.
Will do.
Okay, we have a huge agenda here today. So this is a baptism of fire for Rhonda, so thank you. But we have extremely exciting projects that are being brought to us. So let's get right into new business, please. We're going to start out with new business A, and we'll have Carol and Millen present these. Carol, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, at this time on the phone, I'd like to introduce Peter McAuliffe, who is the Director of Development for Omni Nevada Solar Energy. They're headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, and his company is very interested in Chautauqua County, being they have 3 projects they'd like to undertake in Chautauqua County. We'll be looking at all 3 today. The first project on the agenda is Omni DeWittville Solar. CCIDA has reviewed the application, proceeded with a public hearing on November 8th, 2021, and we've been in continuous contact with the town of Chautauqua. The town of Chautauqua did do lead agency, and they have completed their seeker, and their findings concluded a negative declaration. So the resolutions before you, and Millen will present the resolutions. There's a deviation hearing, being that the solar project is 25 years, and an authorizing and approving resolution for Omni Solar Chautauqua as well. That includes agreeing with the findings of the town seeker. So this project is a 5.0 megawatt solar energy system covering about 30 acres of the property located on the Hartfield-Stockton Road. This project will be installed up to grade. There will be minimum excavation for equipment pads and conductors. And at the end of the life of the project, the solar system will be decommissioned and the property will be restored to the same condition. Once started, I believe Peter said it takes about 6 months to complete. It'll feed directly into the grid and indirectly so to consumers, homeowners, or larger consumers as well. This, of course, will let the household's energy bill be probably 5 or 10% off their electric bill. Larger users as well. So the cost benefit analysis shows 25 construction jobs. There's one part-time employee that will maintenance the site. The sales tax benefit for this project is $403,600. Mortgage recording tax benefit would be $44,150, and property tax savings of $1,977,453. The town of Chautauqua is very supportive. Like I said, we have been in contact with them. They've had their public hearings. The pilot will be 3,200 megawatts with a 2% escalator, and the town host fee will be 2,700. So it's a total of 5,900 a megawatt. Peter has negotiated with the town on the host fee. So at this time, I guess I'll bring forward any questions, or Peter, would you like to at this time talk a little bit about it before the resolutions are presented?
That you pretty much summed it up, Carol. I appreciate it as always, and I just want to thank the members of the board for considering this project, and happy to answer any questions or comments.
Thank you. Any questions for Peter, or?
These are three excellent projects, and thank you, Carol, for all your hard work in bringing this to the board as we look to solar alternative energy in Chautauqua County. This is tremendous. So thank you, Peter, and your company, and we looked forward to these projects. Questions from the board, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious when we would start construction, Peter.
We're looking to, if everything goes according to schedule, we're looking to kick things off ideally this fall is what we're shooting for.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Peter for all his back and forth and hard work on this too. You've been great to work with, Peter.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, Miller, would you, if there are no more questions, go ahead, Miller.
One thing I'm not sure Carol mentioned is the pilot is 25 years, which has now become sort of a common for all of our solar projects. And I guess we should go into the deviation hearing. So with the chairman's approval, I'll ask if there's any members of any affected tax jurisdiction which want to be heard on the DeWittville pilot deviation notice that was sent out to all the affected tax jurisdictions. Hearing none, the resolutions before the board are the deviation and then the final approval resolution for Omni DeWittville, and then preliminary approvals for both Omni Portland and Omni French Creek. And again, the preliminary resolutions are just that. They are preliminary. They authorize the staff and council to start conducting due diligence, talking to the town, conducting a public hearing, etc. And then when all of that is wrapped up in a nice bow, bringing it back to the board for final approval. So those are the resolutions before the board right now.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Millen. Any questions of Millen? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to ask Dennis to please move our new business A3.
Yes, glad to. Resolution 04-26-02-01, deviation approval resolution for Omni DeWittville Solar LLC.
Okay, just a correction. It should be 042622 instead of 0.
Because we're in the year 2020.
Yeah, I was here then, and so was Greg. But, yes. All right. So just if you could please read the resolution again, Dennis. I apologize.
Okay. Resolution 04-26-22-01. Deviation approval resolution for Omni DeWittville Solar LLC.
Thank you, Dennis. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Kevin. A motion made by Dennis, seconded by Kevin. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Ragg.
Aye.
Kevin Muldowney.
Aye.
Jay Churchill.
Aye.
Rhonda Johnson.
Aye.
Thank you. Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. If Steve, if you could please move new business A4.
All right. Resolution 04-26-22-02, the authorizing resolution for Omni DeWittville Solar LLC.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jay. Motion made by Stephen, seconded by Jay. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I forgot to mention when I was introducing this that the town of Chautauqua declared itself lead agency and issued a negative declaration. That's why you don't have a separate SECRA resolution, but the approving resolution references the fact that the town issued its neg deck, and that is binding on the IDA. So I want to explain why there was not a separate SECRA resolution as board members would typically expect in these projects.
Thank you, Ellen. Excellent point and clarification. Thank you. Okay, roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Kevin Muldowney.
Aye.
Jay Churchill.
Aye.
Rhonda Johnson.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Let's see if Jay Churchill, if you could please move new business A7. 5.
Happy to, with half a voice here.
Oh,
Resolution 04262203, due diligence resolution for Omni Portland Solar LLC.
thank you, Jay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Jay, seconded by Dennis. Any further discussion? Roll call, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Stephen Thorpe,
Aye.
Dennis Rack,
Aye.
Kevin Muldowney,
Aye.
Jay Churchill,
Aye.
Rhonda Johnson.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Kevin, if I could please ask you to move new business A6.
Certainly. Resolution 04-26-22-04, due diligence resolution for the Omni French Creek LLC.
Thank you, Kevin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Kevin, seconded by Stephen. Any further discussion?
Would you like me to speak on this a little bit? Omni French Creek Solar is a little bit different.
Okay.
We're voting today, like we did on Omni Portland, just to go forward with a public hearing and do the due diligence on the project. Omni Portland, of course, was 5 megawatts. French Creek is 3.33 megawatts on 23 acres of property located at 10256 Old Road in French Creek, New York. So it's a little smaller, and I also want to mention that on French Creek, the supervisor, David White, and his board has asked us to be lead agency on this, so we will be moving forward with that also.
Okay, thank you, Carol.
Sure. And let's see, the project cost is a little less. It's $3,376,670.
Okay.
If there are any questions, Peter is still here, so.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that the amount of acreage and then the footprint of the actual solar array is much smaller, which allows for nice setbacks and very aesthetic. So we want to thank Omni for that also. Okay. Any questions of Carol? Roll call, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Kevin Muldowney.
Aye.
Jay Churchill.
Aye.
Rhonda Johnson.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Peter. If you'd like to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're of course welcome. But it's going to be an exciting meeting, so you may want to hang on. But we appreciate all your hard work and effort, and also many thanks to Carol and Merlin for bringing these projects to fruition.
Yes, I'd like to thank.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Peter. I know you're very busy. As Mike said, you're welcome to stay. Stay on, otherwise all your resolutions are moving forward.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Have a good day. Let's move to new business B. This is going to be presented by Carol also.
Okay, do you want me to go ahead before? Okay, this is international ordinance. Everyone's familiar with international ordinance and their company. They did come to us for an ADA CARES Act loan. They had a new piece of equipment which was going to make their product more efficient. But in the meantime, their furnace broke down. So they are coming to us requesting $90,000 in an ALTEC loan for 7 years at 4%. They are also going to JLDC and requesting $90,000. And in discussion with JLDC, they are very in favor of helping her with this because the new piece of equipment attaches to the furnace. And this is going to make the furnace more efficient and it's going to have more life on the furnace. Also, between the LTEC loan of $90,000 and the $90,000 JLDC loan, $50,000 in grant funding is coming from the city of Jamestown also to help her with this. Her equipment loan closed March 2022. The endo generator that she purchased is for the heat treat line, and it does reduce expenses by a minimum of $50,000 a year. As the new equipment was being shipped, the furnace broke down, which resulted in a delay for the new equipment. So it left International Ordnance no choice but to repair the furnace. And the total cost is $230,000. The vendor has completed the work. It's up and running. And due to this new system, she is getting new contracts in place, and and everything is moving forward. It's taken. So at this time, we have a request for $90,000 in ALTEC loan. We already have collateral on it, so it'll be against subordinate security position on machinery and equipment, furniture and fixtures, accounts receivable, and all assets of the company. Personal guarantee of Tammy Snyder and life insurance assignment on Tammy Snyder, who is the only one in the company. I know Rich and Mark and I have been in discussions with this, and her family has put $3.5 million with their own funds into the company, and they really have not taken it out either. They're just, So Tammy's a committed person. She runs into a few problems here and there, but moves forward. And her new Northern Drummond contract for a 30 millimeter clip is in place, and probably should be about $3 million, bringing her her revenue up. Do I have any questions on this? I know.
Just, I have a question. In the past, now I know this is not a new player with us. Have we had any issues, or has everything been paid properly in the past? We're good?
Yes, we are. Tammy right now is current on all her loans with the IDA and also through Jamestown Local Development Corp. She got on a payment plan with them, but she's current.
And you should also mention that the loan committee reviewed this and approved it, or recommended that it be approved for funding.
Okay, thank you.
The loan review committee first. Any other questions?
Any other questions of Carol? Thank you, Carol, for working. I know you've worked with this company for many years and can contribute to their success.
One other thing, Mr. Chairman, Carol, I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but isn't the resolution also contingent on her getting funding from the JLDC as well? Yes.
And
so
grant funding.
If that doesn't come through, then ours won't apply.
Okay. All right. Good point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Rhonda, if you could please move new business B1.
B1, Resolution 04-26-22-05, approving an AL Tech loan for International Ordnance Technologies, Inc.
Thank you, Rhonda. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
A motion made by Rhonda, seconded by Kevin. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Stephen Thorpe,
Aye.
Dennis Rack,
Aye.
Kevin Muldowney,
Aye.
Jay Churchill,
Aye.
Rhonda Johnson.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Thanks, Carol, and wishing International Ordinance all the best. All right, let's move to new business C, presented by Christine and Millen, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I see that Joe Quinn has now joined us from Severino Companies. In just a minute, I'll introduce you to Joe. Thank you for joining us, Joe. As you can see, we have a very full agenda today. The IDA received an ALTEC revolving loan fund application from Two Portage LLC, which is an entity that is owned by Severino Companies and Rant LLC. This board has heard about this project previously, received a very full and detailed presentation by Sam Severino and Joe Quinn in December when the IDA approved a pilot and tax lease application. Just to revisit, this project will consist of the adaptive reuse of the historic Welch's building that's located in Westfield, right in the town square, where they would renovate the entire existing building to create a mix of affordable and market rate residential apartments and commercial tenant space. This project came about as a response to the town of Westfield's RFP for acquisition and redevelopment of the former Welch administration building, which is now owned by the town of Westfield, in connection with the town's overall development and ongoing revitalization of the village and town of Westfield and surrounding areas. The application is for $475,000 for real estate acquisition, and you should have received a copy of the loan committee minutes that detailed the loan committee's review of the application. The the project budget is a little over $11.5 million. I'll read the details of the resolution to you in just a minute. I'd just like to invite Joe Quinn if he has any comments that he'd like to share with the board, recognizing that you've already provided a full presentation previously.
Just want to thank the IDA for their continued support, and thank you, Christine, for all the help that you've been so helpful in providing throughout all of these processes.
Oh, you're welcome. You and your team have been excellent to work with, Joe. We're really excited about this project.
Yeah, we're also really excited, and we recognize the importance that it is that this building has to the village, the town, and the region, and looking forward to driving this project forward.
Thank you, Joe. Mark, before I read the details of the resolution as recommended by the loan committee, I don't know if you have any additional comments, again, recognizing that you provided some in December when we discussed this project.
No, I just echo what everyone else has been saying. It is, it's kind of a linchpin in the village of Westfield, and we're just thrilled that we have a developer of the caliber that Severino brings, Severino and Rant, and we're thrilled that we can support this great project. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. I know you worked extensively, in the initial stages with the town and in the RFP for this project. The loan committee recommended to the CCIDA board an ALTEC revolving loan fund for the purpose of financing real estate acquisition in the amount of $475,000. The loan terms recommended are 20 years at 4% interest with principal and interest payments made monthly, with the loan secured by a second lien mortgage position on the commercial real estate located at 2-4, 18, 22-24, 26, 32, and 34 South Portage Street, Westfield, New York, 14787. A second lien position on all business assets, including but not limited to furniture, fixtures, machinery, equipment, inventory, and accounts receivable. And an unlimited personal guarantee provided by Samuel Savarino. Additionally, the loan committee recommended that life insurance be waived for this request. They felt that it wasn't necessary and that the personal guarantee was adequate for this request. Are there any questions of the board regarding the loan resolution?
Christine, I would just like to add that the pilot matter is still pending, and we expect that to close in the next couple of months. As I understand it, this sort of the linchpins for closing that is both this loan and the receipt of historic tax credits, because obviously the Welch's building is an historic building, so they're going to get historic tax credits as part of this sort of capital stack. So those are the last two sort of components.